Hi there, my name is Tristan Stephenson. I'm the co-director of the Worship Street Whistling Shop, the bar that we're in. This is my book, The Curious Bartender, The Artistry and Alchemy of Mixing the Perfect Cocktail. The book is kind of a representation of everything that I think that a bartender should know, whether you're an amateur at home or whether you're someone who works behind a bar like me. It covers off various different classic cocktails with all of the associated anecdotes and stories and history and some of the science behind them, and then modern flourishes for each of those drinks. So using all the available apparatus and techniques that we have at our disposal today to create exciting new drinking experiences. So I'm going to make a dry martini now, using just two ingredients, Tanqueray lemon dry gin and martini extra dry vermouth. This is a simple drink. There's only two ingredients, but one of the things about it being so simple is that it makes it quite difficult to balance two ingredients out. You've got a lot of ingredients to play with in a drink like a Mai Tai. It becomes a little bit easier because they all kind of muddy the drink together and you generally get an acceptable flavour even if things are unbalanced a little bit. With this drink, we have to be quite careful where we tread. So I'll start with a mixing beaker, fill it right up with good cold ice cubes. The more ice the better, because it means it's going to chill the drink more quickly and just limit the amount of dilution that we get. If you only use a little bit of ice, it's going to take a lot longer to chill, and we're also going to get a lot more dilution. Now, dilution can be a good thing, depends on how strong you like your cocktails, and with a martini it's a subjective thing. Some people like their martinis very, very strong indeed, and others like a little bit of extra dilution in there. I'm just putting 60 ml of gin in there. And then I'm going to match that with 15 ml of dry vermouth. So this is what we call 4:1 ratio martini. So that's 4 parts of gin to 1 part vermouth. Now again, this is something that's quite subjective. Some people like their martinis really, really dry. Now that would be something like 15 parts of gin to 1 vermouth. I don't mean 15 times the same quantity of gin as it's a larger drink. I just mean the ratio there is much more in favour of the gin. It means you only taste the vermouth very, very slightly and the gin is the part that's dominating the drink. Some people like their martinis very, very wet. And a wet martini is when you've got a lot of vermouth in there in comparison to gin. Maybe a 2:1, so 2 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. And obviously the flavour of vermouth is going to come out and be a lot more dominant. It's all about that kind of battleground between the gin and the vermouth that's going on in the drink. I personally like mine somewhere between 4:1 and 6:1. I think there's a nice balance there between the kind of herbal aromatics of the vermouth and those botanical juniper and coriander aromatics of the gin. As I say, it's really a personal preference. Now when it comes to stirring this drink down, you want to stir it for at least a minute. And a minute seems like quite a long time in the context of stirring, because it's a little bit boring when you're stirring a drink. But that minute allows us to dilute the drink sufficiently and also get that temperature nice and low. And this drink here will drop down to about -4 or -5 degrees Celsius in the mixing beaker. That's nice and cold. If you only stir for 30 seconds, your drink might only be about 0, the same temperature as a glass of iced water. And we need it colder than that because we've got alcohol in here and we've got to contend with that. We don't want it to be too fumy when we put it in our mouths. We want it to be crisp, bright, and silky around the palate, and also that low temperature will help with lowering the viscosity of the drink as well, and we'll get that kind of creaminess going on in there. So I've been stirring for about a minute, 90 seconds, we're just about there. So we'll get a nice cold glass. I've got one that I've been keeping in the freezer here, and we're going to strain that out. Keeping your glass in the freezer is a good idea because all that work we've done chilling this drink down is not going to be undone now by serving it in a warm glass. You can see as I pour it out, we've got that beautiful thickness to it. It's almost starting to turn into like a runny glue-like texture, and that's good. We know that's going to be good on the palate. You can garnish with an olive or a lemon. It's a personal preference thing really. I personally like the lemon. There's a very famous book written in 1948 called The Fine Art of Mixing Drinks by David Embry, and David Embry says that the martini is the most perfect of aperitif cocktails. And so an olive gives you that saltiness, which is great for opening up the palate, and the citrus gives you those nice lemon oils, which are also really good for awakening the palate and getting ready to eat. Careful with this though, it is like a machine gun. You put too much lemon oil on the top and you're going to find that all of that beautiful synergy we've got going on between the gin and vermouth is lost. So just a touch of lemon there, just to accent the drink, but not take over and make the whole thing taste like lemon. So start from a distance, and that's close enough. Just spray that oil onto the surface, around the drink as well, so that it's on your hands when you pick it up. If you want to, you can drop it in there, and the lemon will continue to infuse, or you can discard it. Again, it's a personal preference thing. I'm going to drop it in there just for a minute, and I might fish it out after the first or second sip. So that is a classic dry martini.